Alright then, ladies and gents, hello and welcome to Crypto Space. Guys, in today's video we are going to cover bread, its recent price action, and of course on the top of that we are going to cover a couple of interesting news about bread, I believe, and of course we are going to cover Bitcoin and altcoin charts as well. Guys, if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing, and a quick disclaimer that this video is not financial advice. So guys, first things first, this is a daily chart for bread, alright? So actually let's firstly cover the stochastic RSI, guys. So this is the ceiling for the stochastic RSI on the daily for bread, and this is what we are dealing with at the moment, right? We are obviously experiencing that pump on the stochastic RSI, and most likely we can potentially experience, that bearish cross for a while, I believe, because also we might get rejected from that 0.236 zone, Fibonacci zone, and also the classic move for a bread. We have dipped to 0.618 for bread, and then we have bounced towards the upside, right? However, we got rejected from that downward momentum, downward trend line for bread, and we have finally broke above, right? We saw attempt of a retest of that trend line, and now we are seeing significant pump. So we might technically, get rejected a little bit in here. Let me actually switch it to the 4-hourly time frame to see what's going on. So as you guys can see on the 4-hourly time frame, we might see, a little bit of pullback. Nevertheless, guys, I do believe that this is definitely a bullish, sign for bread in general. And I would say that this could be considered also as a bullish flag, right? Just like that, let's say. Let me actually do it this way, and let's measure the target right away. So let's say we can measure the target from here, and the potential target would be, let's say, around 30 cents for bread. Maybe they're a little bit of too bullish with that next pump, but that's what's basically brewing, right? So let's say, in order to stay conservative, let's say 27, for this next breakout, 27 cents for this next breakout for bread. I don't think that this is out of the question. Now let's actually have a look at the ribbon. We don't have that much of data if it comes to the ribbon, so let's actually leave that. And now, guys, let's actually have a look quickly on the market. So market obviously is going sideways. Bread is still a winner. 2.4% on a daily is definitely better than nothing. And now, guys, my prediction, long term, obviously, right? So bread is currently sitting at 1.6 billion, USD if it comes to market cap, right? And I do believe that bread is going to be a significant winner this cycle, of course, despite BTC and Caspa and, good projects, right? This is obviously a meme coin, right? So I'm not saying that you should, degen into meme coin 100%, don't get me wrong, but, as safe as meme coins can go, I believe that bread, pepe, and maneki are actually the best. But anyways, guys, I will cover that why. So first of all, very conservative target for me for bread could be probably around 20x from here, 30, and potentially even much more, but I am going to be cashing out around 20-25x for bread. And now, why I do believe that bread is actually going to be huge. So as you guys can see, that is being advertised in UEFA, and this is nothing because before I also saw bread being advertised on the bus stops in China, guys. So I do believe that lots of Jeffries are going to come in with that next phase when bread is going to see significant upward momentum, and they are going to be degening into it like crazy, not mentioning about euphoria phase. And yes, it might gonna sound like very bad, but unfortunately this is the game, guys, right? Fortunately for us being in crypto right now, this is pretty much a good thing for us. Unfortunately not for Jeffries this cycle, and apologies if you are named Jeffrey, this is nothing personal. And now, guys, a little bit of news. We do have a listing for bread, so I believe this is huge, because obviously more liquidity is going to come. And now a couple of interesting charts. So Bitcoin on the daily chart, and shout out to Titan of Crypto. Bitcoin local bottom could be in. A few days ago, BTC fear and greed reached 30 level. It happened past September, and the fear led to capitulation. Bitcoin then locally bottomed. So guys, last time that capitulation happened, it was in September 23, right? And after that we saw upwards trend for BTC's price, and then much bigger leg up outside of that zone, and then rally towards the upside. So we could experience similar pattern for BTC, guys. Of course that move isn't going to happen within one day, so I believe that patience is going to be required. Nevertheless, guys, obviously there's always a rainbow after the rain, I believe. And now altcoins, shout out to El Crypto Prof. So So this is ETH BTC chart in the process of reclaiming a trend line that has been incredibly important for over 7.5 years. Guys, let's have a look, right? So that was that downside, right? That was the fake out, right? We have dipped below that trend line, and we also have to smash that downtrend for BTC ETH chart, guys. So I believe that, you know, if the same scenario is going to play out just like in 2021, 2020 and 2017, we could experience something significant in our portfolios. And now shout out to the Scalping Pro. A consolidation or dip after the Bitcoin halving is very common, as seen in each cycle. Historically, these dips have been a good time to accumulate some Bitcoin. Many people confuse this with distribution or a cycle top and end up selling early or staying on the sidelines for the best part of the rally, which starts a few months after the halving. Let's see what happens if you sell your Bitcoins during dips after the halving. In 2012, you would miss a 12,000% gain. In 2016, you would miss 4,000% gain, and in 2020 you would miss 700% gain. In 2024, Bitcoin reaches 200k, you might miss a 250% gain. Well, guys, 200k for BTC this cycle, in my opinion, this is definitely not out of the question, right? This technically could be conservative given the fact that, you know, every single country almost is, you know, aping into BTC, and not mentioning about ETFs, etc. But of course, you know, waiting for that magical number is definitely, you know, not advisable in my opinion. Not a financial advice, of course, you guys do whatever you want. Nevertheless, I believe that you should guys take the profits along the way in order to meet your kind of, you know, exit plan strategy. And now shout out to Yoda. This is a daily chart for crypto total market cap excluding Bitcoin, which means that the market cap of Ethereum is included into that chart too. So he's saying that altcoins market cap is still at 1 trillion. It won't take much time to reach 2 trillion at least. Guys, so let's say 2 trillion minimum, 2x from now on, let's say. I believe that's reasonable. Of course, that could be technically more, right? And this is normal, guys. We still haven't reached these, you know, levels of previous all-time, well, almost previous all-time highs, not mentioning about all-time highs for altcoins. So, you know, we still do have quite a bit of time, you know, in this cycle. And now shout out to Mickey Bull Crypto, and this is a 3 daily chart for BTC. Bitcoin next major impulse move will be huge. The longer the consolidation, the higher the price goes. Exactly, guys. The Scalping Pro, altcoins season incoming. That's what he's saying. So guys, in the previous cycle, we did 21x for altcoins. Obviously, these are diminishing returns, which means that, you know, it's going to be much less this cycle. Nevertheless, guys, from 1 trillion to 4 trillion, I believe if you are going to pick the right altcoins, you have a potential to, you know, be a winner this cycle as well. Of course, I'm not talking about Bread, Caspa and Bitcoin, just in general. There are many quality altcoins, I believe. Guys, patience again, and thank you for watching. Peace and love, crypto.